Right, now I'm going to build the Orc Megaboss from Stormbringer, but I'm going to do things slightly differently this time because I'm going to actually make some alterations to the model as I go along, just to make him a bit more unique. And the reason behind that is I actually already have a Megaboss, so I just want to change him up a bit, change the head and change one of his weapons. But other than that, I'm building it as per standard. It's just slight changes towards the end. So let's start off. What we need to do is we need to kind of get the legs together. So what we got is number 1. And then number 3, which is one of the weird little pieces, like you just don't understand why it's separate from the rest of the leg. It's just like a little tiny slot insert. I will always wonder why you would have a huge piece like this, and then for random reasons, well, I'm sure they're not random, I'm sure there must be a legitimate reason they do this, but basically, you know, you have like a little bit that you can't really understand why it's just not part of the model anyway. You can't imagine it would make much of an issue with the moulding process, who knows. Yeah, it's this. Yeah, you can see it's just like a tiny little bit of armor. In my head, I just can't work out why it's not already attached. It's just so strange. I mean, I can't imagine they save any plastic by doing it this way. Maybe they do, but considering then you have to create an injection point somewhere else, I'm just not convinced it saves any plastic. Right, number 2. And sometimes it's a good idea not to cut too close when it's on the sprue and just do it later, just trim it down. And then we get this number 4 over here, which is the other tiny little bit. Same again, you know, it's asking yourself, why keep these tiny little bits off? There must be something I don't understand because I'm not a manufacturer of models. So I just mustn't understand the process and why they have to do that. Anyway, it just annoys me from a model building perspective because it's just, sometimes it's just work to do for no reason. But they're nice and simple. Now, what you've got to do, you've got to glue these two together, which I found when I've done another one is quite easy to do. It's just nice and simple like that. Just make sure you get everything lined up correctly. Like so. And then what we do is we go grab number 5, which is the back of the body. You know, if you collect, say, orcs in 40k, you will start to see some clear differences between iron jaws and the kind of standard orcs from 40k. The key difference is the kind of more curved nature of their armor. You'll find that orcs in 40k have very blocky, although there is some curvature, it's not heavily accented. Now, this is a bit weird, this part, because what you got to do, first you've got to not split that. Yeah, it's got to kind of rest there, like so, and it won't feel very stable to begin with. Come on, don't keep slipping. Okay, let them start drying a bit while I get the next part out, which is number 6. So number 6 is the front of the body where the head goes on. For a big beefy model, he's got quite some weak points on him, so just be mindful when you're tidying him up about how you do it and how rough you are. Now, you're supposed to put this head on, number 3, but I'm not going to do that because, as you can see, if you take a orc head, say from a savage orc, you can put that one on instead. I'm hoping it's not going to interfere with anything, but I don't believe it will. Just gives him a different appearance. Now, slides in here. Again, things would glue and stay. So just need to glue here, get this holding on. The problem. I'm trying to get these two parts to stick together. I had this problem when I was doing it last time. It was a pain. It's like fighting me constantly as I tried to slot them together. It's not having a good time, this one, is it? It really just does not want to stick. There you go. Okay, and then number 7, which is his shoulder guards and his front armour. Now this is where I'm going to find out whether or not this conversion is going to work, because, you know, it's whether or not it guarantees that this new head that I've put on will interfere with this part. Now I don't believe it will. This goes on this side around like this. So this is where I'm going to find out whether or not this head will work, and yes, it will. Can you see? So it will actually go on there and work perfectly fine, and that way he just doesn't look like the same head as my other Megaboss. I'm saying knob there, he's not a knob, is he? He's not a 40k. There we go. Yeah, I've got that nice puff of hair to make him a bit different than the eye patch. I'm hoping as well when I put the other side on this, it's going to fit as well. So let's get number 12 out, the hand, single hand. There we go. Come on, stay on. Right, what else have we got here? So now we need to get... Gosh, my brain is definitely going to sleep here. This one, number 7. Oh. Let's hope this thing will go on without, again, interfering with that plop of hair. Good, it's going to go on. Right, a couple of other bits to get on now. So this number 14. Now this looks like a bloodthirster's skull, well, which is unlikely because demons deteriorate after being destroyed. But I have to admit, orcs are pretty awesome. If they wanted it to stay behind afterwards, they would just believe it didn't disappear, which is it's just one of the cool things about orcs. It's like if they don't want something to disappear, it won't disappear. You know, so if they wanted a demon as a trophy on their armor, they would just will it not to turn to mush, and it probably would. Now, number 9, which is this lovely skull necklace. Just watch out while you're tidying this up, because it's a thin bit of plastic. Very easy to accidentally break it. The way this goes on is it kind of tucks underneath here. There and there. So now, what you have to do is you have to kind of get this. What's it called? Well, let's put this a little bit on first before I start dealing with the last part, which is his weapon. Let's just squeeze over there. Yeah. Okay, now you normally would use number 10. However, I want to use this spare one I've got from the Maw Crusher, I think from Premium Issue 2. The thing is, if you're changing the weapon loadout, you'll find that it might not kind of fit in here, and that's because this is a slightly flattened on the back side. So in order to make this fit, I'm just going to have to carefully take a little bit off the back here until it basically lines up. So, you know, if you're ever doing conversions, you just have to kind of be careful, shave off a little bit each time, don't overdo it, just sort of do it gradually. Check the fit as you go, and once it seems to be closing the gap and fitting where it should do, that's when you can glue it. But of course, don't take too much off all at once. Otherwise, you're going to have to start getting green stuff out to fix your mistakes. There we go. That looks like it's going to fit on now without much trouble. Maybe not. I think I need to just... I think it's this side here that's my problem. Yep, okay, I'm going to go with that. That looks all right now. Now, if you do end up with gaps, then you're going to have to get stuff like green stuff. If it's a small gap, you can probably use liquid green stuff. If it's a big gap, you're going to need the proper two-part stuff that you kind of put together. I think as well I need a little bit of glue on this side just to add a bit of strength to it. There we go, just stuff like that. It adds a bit of variety to your miniatures, you know, it gives you something different. In fact, should I go grab my other, now where did I put my other one? Yes. So here we go. I now have two Megabosses. This one I've built pretty much standard, but I've given him a second axe. And this guy, I've swapped out the head and changed his chopper axe for a big sword. And I just think it gives me a bit of variety. Of course, the same miniature really, the same body type. If I had time and, you know, everything, I could have maybe altered his armour in little ways, altered the necklace. But early on, when you're learning how to convert, sometimes kit bashing is the best starting point. So that's my advice on that front anyway. And there we go. That is how to build our Megaboss. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.